So another way to explain the difference between a modern and a postmodern is to look at it from this broad perspective. There's a view of science called the uniformity of natural causes in a closed system. And what that basically means is this, is that there's an integration of all mini systems within the largest system we call the universe. There's an integration of it that functions in and of itself, so that there's nothing outside the system that can come in and interfere with it. And that's the modern, the generic modern view of the system, of the universe, of the world. The postmodern thinks very, very differently about that. He has he believes in the uniformity of natural causes in an open system. Now, traditionally, the University of Natural Causes and an open system has been considered a generically Christian perspective because great theologically centered Christians several hundred years ago would believe, and they believed, that God created a world that has a form and a function, but that anytime God wants, He can choose to specially enter into that world and interfere with it, so to speak. The postmodern is more along that line of reasoning. Remember, he diminishes systems. He does not like the tyranny of the system. He doesn't like to think that he's nothing but the sum of his DNA, and that there are forces that compel him to do things that he does not choose of his own will to do. The modern believes in a functional, mechanistic system. It's one of the reasons why the religious modern has a bifurcation between the sacred and the secular, meaning that he will give allegiance to God in the sacred realm in a way that he will not give allegiance to God in the secular realm, because he believes that in the quote-unquote secular, or in the matter, the material world, quite honestly the world that counts, he believes that God can't interfere, or he doesn't even entertain the idea that God can interfere, and he doesn't expect God to interfere. The postmodern, however, views his entire life as open system. He believes that the world is open to possibilities. So many possibilities so that he believes in, from the modern's point of view, he believes in many, many absurdities. He entertains absurdities. And that's really the direction of his culture. The modern will look at him and go, no, that is impossible because of A, B, and C. And the postmodern will look at them and go, you are limiting me. Take your hands off me. Take your hands off my mind. Take your hands off my soul. You cannot tell me what I can and cannot become. It's the ultimate blasphemy law amongst postmoderns, that you do not control another person, particularly the mind or the spirit. And that's one of the reasons why, particularly with the modern parents and the postmodern child, his postmodern child, whom he does not view as a postmodern, that's one of the reasons why there's such a huge rift between the two generations. It's because the expectations of the modern is that the child will embrace modern sensibilities, whereas the postmodern child looks at his parents in a horror and oftentimes sees a monster